decided to do a frame off and do bushings and everything like that. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove the front fenders. I think that'll make it easier for me. And due to I got a little quarter panel that needs some addressing, I think I'm gonna remove the front fenders just to make it a little easier for me, and I think that'll help me in the long run because I'm limited on space here. But I think I'm gonna do a frame off and get working on the fenders, and then see where I can go from there. So we'll see how it goes. I'll check in after this video. Okay, we got our body, our front end clip off. We have 4 bolts. You have one right here, and then you have one right there, 2 on each side. Up front, my body bushings were already, I didn't have body bushings on it. So that was throwing off the angle of the doors when I was closing them. I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it was some damage or wrong fenders, but come to find out it was the body bushings. I had no body bushings, so that's why I was having problems opening and closing my doors. So I'm gonna definitely have to replace all the body bushings now. Other than that, I removed my standalone that's the only thing I had on the fender, and I'm gonna attempt to move the front clip and see where it goes from there. All right, we got the front clip is almost out. The front clip is almost out. I got a little bit more to go, so I'm gonna pull it on off and set it to the side, and then see if I can, get everything to kind of work out here. I got a couple areas I have to address. I have my clutch cable, not clutch cable, but to my throwout bearing is leaking on the other side. So I want to have to find a way. Maybe this will give me a little more room if I pull the frame off. I'll be able to tighten it down. And then that's truly about it. I'm gonna have to remove the brake lines because that's the only thing really attached to the body. Brake lines and the clutch line. I'm gonna have to remove both of those because it's the only thing attached. And I think maybe my parking brake cable, I'm gonna have to remove that. And then that'll be about it. That'll be everything removed. I can address cleaning up inside the doors, get the door frame straight and everything like that, and don't have to worry about the hazards of being close to the motor. So I'm gonna continue to pull it off, pull the front clip off, and then go from there. All right, I got the front clip off here. As you can see, it's pretty. Just gotta clean it up a little bit. Got a little cleaning up to do. Other than that, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna proceed forward and go to try to remove the frame. This is the front clip, so I took the front clip off. I have some areas to address on that also, which is at the bottom of the quarter. That's normal for cars in this year, and that's about it. I'm just touching up and pretty much sanding and painting. Other than that, I'm gonna get to removing the bolts off the frame for the body bushings, and I'm gonna remove the frame off the body just so we can see what we got here and what we got going on. All right, on to the next step. All right, I'm working on my first pocket here for my bushings. It's a square tab in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. With that takes a one. This is a 1 inch. This is a 1 inch wrench on this side. You had to put it inside that pocket, or it just spin around, and then put your impact on the other side with a, I believe this is a 5/8 socket. So I'm gonna attempt this first pocket and move on down the line. All right, I had to remove the front tire to get to this nut. So I'm there. I'm gonna try to attempt to get this 1 inch. I got a little more room, so I'm trying to get that in there and then go from there. All right, I got the first bolt out, the first pocket. You see it down in there. I got it free. Only bad mishap is that the bolt actually broke off. So that's part of the hazards, you know. You just have to replace that bolt by new bolt. You're restoring the car anyway, so it's better to have new bolts anyway. So I'm gonna move on to the next pocket. It won't come free till I'm able to lift it up. So I'll move on to the next pocket, then go from there. All right, we got all 3 pockets out. I got one right here. I got 2 in the rear. 1, 2. All right, so I took all 3 of those out. This is the bolt for that. The bolts came out. That's one bolt. This is 2 bolts. And then this is the 3rd bolt. The bushings, I removed the bushings. You can see how flat they are. There's barely a bushing there. I removed all those. Next, I'm gonna attempt to, I've been reading different things, and it said the best way to do it is to do one side at a time. So I'm gonna lift up this passenger side first. After I lift up the passenger side, and I'll do the driver's side. On to the next step. All right, I'm taking the car off of the frame. I got it's 4 points. There's one in the front. There's one that doesn't have a bolt. It's a bolt in the midsection, and then there's 2 at the rear. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts on each side. So I got a block of wood. I'm gonna pick it up off the frame, and then I'm gonna put the jack stands underneath it. So I'm gonna raise it up. Just raise it up as much as possible. And as you can see, it's lifting up. Right now it's off the frame. You can kind of see the lip. I haven't done the other side yet. So after I get the other side done, I'll be able to get both sides. And as you can see right here, it's off the frame. It up, so now I can put it on jack stands and then go on to my next step. I got the Chevelle up on jack stands. I'm gonna remove the 10 bolt. I'm gonna remove that first before I finish the rest of the bushings because I need to lower it because I need to get the frame. I need to get the frame off. So I need to lower it all the way to the ground so I can slide the frame from up under it. So I'm gonna work on getting the 10 bolt out. After I get the 10 bolt out, then we're gonna press on from there. I got the rear end all loosened up. I'm gonna roll it out. You can see it's 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 control arms, and then you got the shocks, 5, 6 brake lines and everything like that. So I'm gonna roll it out of there and then move on to the next step. All right, I got my last 2 bolts out. As you can see, this is the old bushing for the rear right here. Got one more bushing up in there. I can't quite get it up. Let's see if I can pull it out. That's the rear bushing right there. See, it's pretty worn down. And this is definitely worn down. This is almost non-existent. So I'm gonna move on to, I have 2 more. I'll move on to those 2 and see where it goes. I removed the bolts. See, I got one right there. I had to remove another one from the midpoint right here. Next I had to remove the clutch cable, and then I had to remove these. I had to remove these 2 brake lines because that's attached to the car, and then that'll be it. I can lift it up and well, just proceed forward as far as lifting it up. So I'm gonna proceed forward and see how it goes. All right, this is my final jacking point. I put 2 jack stands in the back, 1 jack stand right here. I'm gonna use my jacks for the front. I don't have 4 jack stands, but the preferable method is to use some jack stands all the way around. So I'm gonna jack up. This is my final point. I got 2 on the other side. So jack up. Car is almost up. Okay, so I missed the point. I'm gonna have to get the emergency brake cable off. And after I get that off, then it'll fully come up. I used the grinder. I got that parking brake cable cut off. I'll address it later. Probably what I'm gonna do is add I didn't want to go floor because I wanted 4 pedals, but since that happened, since the parking brake cable popped off, I think I'm gonna have to go floor and just do a parking brake right there in the middle of the floor. I keep going and see how it goes from there. I've got the parking brake cable cut up there now. Now I'm going to lift up. So this is my final point that I have to lift up. I'm going to lift up the frame. Alright, so now that was my last section. As you can see, it's coming up. That was my last area. So now it's officially off the frame now. So we're good to go. Our next step is to push the car forward and get it straight, remove our bushings, the rest of the bushings, and then go from there. got the frame off done. Got it removed from the frame. You see it over there. I'll try to turn the camera around here. Got everything removed from the. I got everything removed. Got the frame removed. Off the frame. See, my pockets look pretty good, so that's a plus. I don't have any pocket repair to do. Only area I have is this back side of the frame that's bent up. I'm gonna figure out what I need to do as far as probably just have to cut. Looks like I have to just cut this rear off. So this rear portion right here, I have to just cut that off. As far as the body is up now. Everything looks pretty good on it. It doesn't look too bad. Of course, I got a lot of work to do. Just continue to press on. See where we at. And then go from there. I got a lot of little knick-knack and little details to do, but I'm gonna get started, see what direction I'm gonna go and where I'm gonna start. Then we're gonna go from there. I know I put my transmission brace that's upside down, so I'm gonna have to turn that up the right way. I put that upside down, and the reason I put that upside down is because of the tab. The tab is on the bottom side, and when I put it the right way, it just didn't fit right. So I'm gonna have to go back through it and figure out what I can do. I think there's some shims that I can put up under there, and I'm gonna try that first before I, worst case scenario, I have to put it upside down and have to feed the exhaust system through these holes right here. So I'm gonna just continue. Have a lot of lines to remove, like old fuel lines. This was a California car, so it had the smog. So, and the returns and everything like that. So I'm gonna have to remove those. Though they are good lines, I can't reuse them because I'm doing a LS swap. This is the Gen 5 LT with L8T. I can do a lot of my details, like I got to work on bleeding this clutch. The clutch line was having a little problem. And stuff like that. But other than that, it's just mostly I just need to remove a lot of the access lines and then just make sure we're good to go. I can grind the way I want to and grind it down real good and paint the way I want to. But other than that, everything looks pretty rust free. Everything looks solid. I don't see any damage on the frame at all. Other than that rear section, I don't see any damage. So I couldn't get that shock out when I was removing, so I'm gonna have to remove that shock bolt to get that shock out. And then as far as the frame here, everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna attempt to smooth out the firewall somewhat because I'm doing I don't have plans of AC right now, and I probably have to come back later on and do plans of AC, but I'm gonna try to smooth out this somewhat. I have one pocket over here, this that I have to address. And let's see, I have a little floor problems. Have to get the floor straight, and then that'll be pretty much about it. It's not a lot, you know, but it's not a little either. I'm gonna have to take my time with it, grind real good. It's a lot of under rest and everything like that, so I'm gonna shut it down and figure out a plan of attack, whether I'm gonna figure out the body first or attack the frame first, which I don't want the frame to really be outside. So I'm gonna probably gonna be attacking the frame for the body first. I don't want the body to be outside, so I'll probably be attacking the body first and then getting to the frame after that, because it looks pretty solid. It's a lot of surface rust that needs to be ground down. So I'm gonna stop there, and then I'm gonna go to the next video. All right, I got everything kind of on stanchions here. I put these rollers at the back, which I'm gonna have to find something to make them a little more concrete, to sit up in those pockets a little better. So I got that on that side. I got the motor and transmission, everything up here, kind of squared away. I'm gonna center it up a little bit, and then after I center it up, I'm probably just gonna lock it in so I can go forward and back. As far as this, I tried to put the stanchions, but it was bending the pockets right there. So what I did is I used this I guess creeper, and put a block of wood on it, on WD-40 that down, make sure it slides well, just so I can rock it back and forth when I need to rock it. On the back side, I put dollies, my wheel dollies, and strap them down. And, I mean, it came out pretty good. Gives me enough room to move it around and roll it around as needed. You know, I wouldn't suggest doing this. You know, don't do anything this way, because, you know, not recommended. But for my build, don't try this at home. You know, for my build, I'm gonna do this myself. Do it this way and rock it back and forth when I need to move it or whatever. So I'm gonna continue to break it down. You know, I got to break down this rear end next, get that straight. I'm gonna continue to break down things, and then I'm gonna go from there.